Oh my goodness, you guys, you are not gonna get over this story I'm about to tell you. So the other day I did my makeup, and I mean, it looked really good, and I'm not even a makeup artist, but I really had it looking nice, and I used all of my high-end, super expensive makeup. And I was in the store, and all these people, they just kept coming up to me left and right. It was like I was just bombarded by people, and they were like, oh my gosh, your makeup, it looks so good. They were like, we can tell, you know, you must have on some really expensive, high-end, popular makeup. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then the weirdest thing happened. So then yesterday I put on all of my super affordable drugstore makeup, and I was in the grocery store, and I had tons of people coming up to me. Like, again, I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then they were all like, wow, we can tell you have on cheap, inexpensive, budget-friendly makeup. And do you know the craziest part of all of this is that never happened. None of that ever happened, because that will never happen if you buy expensive makeup versus affordable makeup. Now, I will say, yes, there are some great pricier products out there on the market, but listen, those pricey products don't meet everyone's budget. So that's why I'm here today, to help you to save a ton of money. And I'm gonna share with you this big Sephora sale's coming up. And if you notice, I don't really ever share it, because I'm sorry, 10%, 15%, 20%, that you wait for all year long, it's just not that exciting for me. Like, I have brands that I love of their products that I have a 20% discount code all the time. And then like once a year for Black Friday, they'll do like 30% or 35% off. To me, those are the exciting sales. But I get it with social media, all the videos out there, and everybody sharing like, oh my gosh, this new product, you gotta buy this, you gotta buy that. It can be overwhelming, and sometimes we might get that FOMO, that fear of missing out, and sometimes we might feel influenced by watching beauty influencers and feel like, you know what, it's okay if, you know, I skip these bills or whatever, or I go into debt because I must buy that $79 eyeshadow palette. So that's what I want to share with you today. I'm going to share with you some products that I personally do plan to purchase with my 20% off in the Sephora sale. But I want to kind of de-influence you, so that if you are looking at a bunch of these new products that everybody's raving about, saying, oh my gosh, you have to buy this in the Sephora sale, I want to show you products that I think are just as good, maybe if not better. And some of them are so inexpensive, like some of them are only $3. So depending on what your budget, I have something to meet everyone's budget. And just to remind you, you don't have to shop in the Sephora sale. But if you are planning to shop, if it is in your budget, if you've saved up or whatever, or if you're like me and there are just a few things that you're like, well, there are no affordable dupes for these yet, and you're willing to spend the money, of course, with the sale, that's what I'm gonna share with you. So before I put on my makeup, I'll just quickly share with you what I did for my skincare today. Super quick and easy. I just used a good old-fashioned drugstore cleanser. I actually really like this one from Cetaphil. If you want a detailed skincare video though, I'll pop one up here if you wanna click on one and check that out. My skincare routine's been pretty much the same for the past year or so. So normally I put my favorite Oxy R peptide. It's a super high concentrated ingredient from the brand Medigate. This is great if you have dark spots, so that's why I like to use this. And then normally I just put on my vitamin C, but lately, since I do deal with hyperpigmentation and melasma, and I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, your skin, it's much lighter, or you don't have melasma. I do have melasma, it's just not super duper dark right now, but it, you know, it's still there. I have a little pimple here, one here, and my melasma really runs like up here. Now, I've got these bright kitchen lights, the sun's coming in, so you can't see it as well. I have this little spot here, and my melasma kind of runs down here, and it's not crazy dark like what it used to be, but it's still there. I see it. But to be able to keep it like this, I have to continually use a melasma type skincare routine. I've been using this product from Maylove along with my two originals, and this is their Fade Away Serum. And I like this because this is kind of like your one-stop shop for melasma. This has your kojic acid, alpha-arbutin. It has a bunch of other brightening ingredients and ingredients that will help calm down melasma, since melasma is really triggered from inflammation, heat, sun, hormones. But this is a really lovely serum, and so I've just been layering this on top of this. But then I noticed the other day my neck, I was looking like this way in the mirror, and I was like, oh my gosh, well, maybe a few weeks ago, I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? Now, of course, I have my tech neck and I have my big scar from my spinal, my neck surgery, but I noticed like some of the skin, like right here, is not it's not as firm. Like the skin on my face, I mean, this is still really, really firm, but you know, I've neglected my neck and I didn't start doing things for my neck, you know, skincare wise and sunscreen till maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And so my neck skin is not as firm as my face, but so I saw it in the mirror and I had stopped using one of my favorite neck creams because I'm always, you know, trying to test different things. And so I thought, you know what, I need to get serious. I got to start putting my retinaldehyde on my neck. But the one that I love for my face, it's, you know, it's a pricey one because it's the highest strength on the market. There's nothing else like it. And I'm like, I don't really want to waste it and put that on my neck and my chest. And so I wanted more of like a serum-y one. So I bought this one from Maylove also when I had bought this, because I thought, you know, I'll start putting this on my neck. And I've actually been doing this 2 times a day, morning and night. And I think they just say that retinaldehyde, it can be unstable, you know, with the light. So if I'm going to be outside with the sun on me, I'm not going to put this on. But of course I put sunscreen over it. But because also if you use prescription strength Retin-A, I was able to use that on my face for 20 some years with some irritation here and there and annoying flaking or redness. And I don't use that anymore, but golly, if I ever put prescription Retin-A on my neck, forget it. My neck looks so raw, looks like I've been burned in a fire. Like, it's hideous. So I can only use like a retinaldehyde on my neck. So anyways, I've been using this Maylove one on my neck, and now I bought those, but they sent me this. So I thought, you know what, let me start diving into more of their products, since I love their shampoo and conditioner and their scalp serum that helps, you know, grow your hair, make it fuller and denser. So they reached out and said they had a new neck cream, and of course I'm like, heck yeah. Since lately I'm like, what is going on with my neck? And I can't give you a review on this yet. I can't even give you a review on this yet, other than I love the ingredients. But you know, I've only been using this like 3 weeks. But they sent this to me like last week, and I've only used it like 5 times, but I'm using it morning and night. And I will say, without knowing my, of course, final results, that weird crepiness that I was noticing right here on my neck and the looseness, it's still loose, but this has a ton of peptides in it. And I feel like when I use this, you know, like when you do slugging and you pile on like thick layers of Vaseline or, you know, Aquaphor or whatever to slug all of your ingredients underneath, I was like, oh my gosh, this like is so rich and nourishing for my neck. But it's like slugging, but without all of that greasiness afterwards. So I actually have that on my neck today. My neck is completely dry, but it is so deeply moisturized and hydrated. So once I fully test this, you know, it takes me a good 3 to 4 months to really know if I'm gonna like something. But if you are looking for a neck cream that has really good ingredients, is not just moisturizing, but goes down deep and is nourishing and softening and hydrating, but also has a bunch of amazing ingredients, you might like this. So I'll pop the link down below. You can read the ingredients, see if it's something you're interested in. But again, I don't know if I'm gonna love it yet, but so far I do really like it. And if you could reach through your phone or computer or TV and touch my neck, the skin, it just doesn't feel like that wrinkly, crinkly skin. It's extremely soft, but it feels super duper moisturized. So, but since of course I am using their retinaldehyde on my neck, and by the way, I've had no irritation. I've been doing this for, I don't know, a couple weeks now. I have no irritation whatsoever using this on my neck, but I really like what it's starting to feel like. But of course, since I'm using their retinaldehyde during the day and the evening, of course I always use a sunscreen, not only on my face, but on my neck. So today I put this sunscreen all over my face, brought it down my neck and my chest. Then, since I'm a little extra when it comes to sunscreen, and since I do everything in my power to keep my melasma chilled out, I also put some of my other favorite. This is from Isden. This is their tinted sunscreen. I've heard a lot of doctors, well, the ingredients supposedly have like DNA repairing enzymes in them. I'm not 100% sold on it, you know, the DNA repairing enzymes doing anything different for my skin other than what the sunscreen itself is doing. But I have seen quite a few dermatologists who swear by this sunscreen, and they do say that it's really great to help, you know, for DNA repair and protect the skin and all that good stuff. But so that's not necessarily why I buy it. I just love the finish of it. I love the tint, and if you have hyperpigmentation or melasma, using a tinted sunscreen is great. Now, if you don't want to wear makeup and you just want to have a great skincare routine, that is a skincare routine that I've been enjoying. Now, I get it for those of you who are like, I would never put that many products on my face. Then just do what works best for you. Wash your face or don't, and then just put on your favorite moisturizing sunscreen, call it a day, and then you're good to go. skincare, makeup, all of that, just do whatever works best for you. I'm just sharing what works best for me. Now let me show you some makeup, and to help de-influence you on this Sephora sale and to share with you what I personally think would be 100% worth it if it's in your budget. But I want to show you products so that you don't feel like you're missing out. I want to show you some products that you're going to be like, Sephora who? I don't even need to buy anything in the Sephora sale. Or my foundation. I'm not buying the Natasha Denona new one. I'm not buying any of the other new foundations that are really expensive at Sephora right now. If you know me, I like most of my makeup products to have sunscreen in them. Is it necessary? Probably not if you already use a good sunscreen underneath, but since, you know, when I'm doing my makeup, I'm rubbing and moving things around, I don't want any of my sunscreen to be disturbed because I do not want UV penetrating on my melasma at all. So I like to use makeup that has sunscreen in it. So this is a foundation I love that is extremely affordable, budget friendly, but this also has sunscreen in it. This is an SPF 40 sunscreen. Let me zoom in so that you can see what this looks like a little bit better. And for this foundation, I put it on the back of my hand with my other favorite from Naked Sundays. I squirt that on my face because it's a much more kind of thinner consistency and coverage. But this has a nice medium to full coverage. And this is the brush that comes with it. I don't love this brush, to be quite honest. And you know, you could use any brush, like an e.l.f. brush, or if you already own like the BK Beauty brushes or something like that, you know, use whatever is in your budget. But you know, I haven't tested the Natasha Denona one yet, but I hear a lot of people saying it's just like a serum-y texture. It gives you a beautiful glow. And when I watch the reviews, I'm like, but that's what my Versed sunscreen, that's like so much cheaper. That's what this will do. This also provides a bunch of beautiful skincare ingredients and sunscreen protection all in one. If you're on a budget and you want something that's serum-y, that gives good coverage, that makes your skin feel like you put a beautiful moisturizer with all kinds of luxurious skincare on, this one is a great affordable alternative that would hopefully be better for your budget than the expensive one. Also, the wear on this one is really lovely. This does not break up on my face at all during the day. And if you notice, I didn't even use a primer before it because this sunscreen, the moisturizing sunscreen from Dermatology, this pretty much acts like a primer. It's like one of the best makeup primers ever, and it's my sunscreen. Now, I get it, not everyone loves this beautiful, healthy, lit from within glow. Some people like a little bit more kind of matte, toned down look to their skin. So if I don't want this glow, I just put a little powder on. But I know everybody's hyping up like the Huda powders, these Kosas powders, and all these really expensive powders that are at Sephora. Now, again, I'm not saying that these are bad powders. This is a lovely powder. If I could open it from Kosas, there. This is a pink powder. You know, everybody's like, oh, you gotta get a pink powder, you gotta get a pink powder. And this is a beautiful, finely milled pink powder from Kosas. But you know, like I said, why are we spending that kind of money when Wet n Wild has a really lovely pink powder? Now, not every inexpensive, you know, powder on the market is great, but I don't know if you can tell. I don't want to spill. Ah, I did spill it. I didn't want to spill it. I was trying to show you how this is so finely milled. Let me just dip my finger. It just literally feels like I'm dipping my finger into air. That's how finely milled this is. And to be quite honest, now the ingredients are a little different, but to be quite honest, you know, if you just like to lightly powder down your foundation like what I'm about to do, I just take a fluffy brush, and it doesn't have to be this one from BK Beauty. You can just get any inexpensive brush. You know, e.l.f. has a lot of good ones, Real Techniques. And this is the Wet n Wild powder on this side of my face. I'll just show you how lovely this kind of tones down all that shine. I actually like this kind of shine, but I'm still gonna powder my whole face just so that, you know, you can see. But this one from Kosas is great. The Huda one, I actually don't like the Huda one. I feel like it starts to look cakey when I look in the mirror. If you are of the mature age, I'm 53, and if you do not like how powders make your face look just really dried out and cakey and heavy, this one from Wet n Wild, I mean, and you get a ton of it, it's fabulous for a super inexpensive face powder. This is gonna last me forever because I literally use the teeniest, tiniest amount and then get it up into this brush. So, all right, let's talk these expensive Sephora eyeshadow palettes. And some of them, they're beautiful, but I don't think that you need to buy them, and I'm gonna show you why. So some of these are already popped out because I put them in like a different Z palette, but this is one of the expensive Natasha Denona palettes. The quality is fabulous. This is, I think, the I Need a Nude palette. And I really love all of the Natasha Denona palettes, but they're expensive. And here's what's interesting. Do you see how all of these shades are left here? But I've only popped out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have those in a different Z palette. Hang on, I'll show you the Z palette. This is the Z palette. I just got it off of Amazon, super cheap. So I put the Natasha Denona ones from this palette, the ones that I'll wear, in here, okay? So I've got like a dark brown, you know, medium kind of brownish shade, and a couple little shimmery shades, okay? Then I also bought this, what is it, her golden one? Yeah, the golden palette. Beautiful palette, quality's great. And as you can see, I popped out 3 of them. All of these are just left here because, you know, they're all kind of similar. Beautiful. This is another stunning palette by YSL. I mean, look at that packaging. That's really, really pretty. But don't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get 10% off or 15 or 20% off. I must buy it. Is it a lovely palette? Yes. And as you can see, I've got the brown, this like peachy medium shade, like a shimmer shade, and the light shade. This is another stunning little expensive palette that I hear a lot of people raving about. Now, this is from Patrick Ta. This is a stunning little palette. I mean, look at that. Ooh, that's so pretty. Now, one other palette that, to be quite honest, I actually hate it. This one that I hear a lot of people talk about, this Makeup by Mario one, I've had this ever since it came out, and I've been very underwhelmed with it. So not everything that's expensive is great quality. I feel like these are very chalky, and even though they're different shades of browns and all that, they end up looking like weird and gray and just, I don't know, I don't like how they look on me. So, but I know people are talking about the new palette, saying, oh my gosh, you gotta get this new palette. So these are all expensive palettes, and yes, some of them are fabulous, but might I interest you in a different eyeshadow palette that is half the price or a fourth or an eighth of the price? Because if you notice, for me, and I bet we're all very similar, I have pretty much the same taste in shades. I wear the same 3 to 4 shades, browns, beiges, a little dark brown, a little sheen, but I'm not into like bright greens, bright blues, reds, oranges. I'm just, you know, 53 years old. First of all, I'm not that great with makeup, but I'm not really into wearing all of those different shades. But if you want one of the most beautiful eyeshadow palettes I have ever used, not just beautiful by how stunning the shades are, but let me just show you how pretty these look on the skin. Look at this. These are so pretty. No one is going to know that you're wearing an affordable Morphe eyeshadow palette versus a super expensive Natasha Denona or Makeup by Mario or whatever eyeshadow palette. Another brand that I think is fabulous is this one from ColourPop. This is their Glowing Coconuts, but any of their eyeshadows, if you like that same kind of color story, this would be a perfect eyeshadow palette for that. But wait, there's more. If you're interested in saving a ton of money, maybe you're on the tightest budget, but you're like, I don't want crap makeup. I want my makeup to look really pretty. This little $3 eyeshadow palette, this blew my mind. I did another video and showed how when I swatched these, I was like, oh my gosh, these are almost identical to my super expensive $250 Louis Vuitton eyeshadows that I bought to test to share with you guys. And if you want to know my thoughts on that palette, I can pop that other video up here or here. But you guys, this little $3 eyeshadow palette, they have all different colors. So if you like bold, bright colors, they have tons of others to choose from. But for $3 or $3.50, somewhere around there, this, you could buy every single one of these for the cost of one of these ridiculous eyeshadow palettes. A funny story, I shared it in the other video. I swatched these 4 shades right above my super expensive $250 Louis Vuitton eyeshadows because the shades are almost identical. Now, I'm not saying this is a dupe, but they look really identical on. But I asked my husband when he looked at the swatches, I said, out of these swatches, the top row and bottom row, which one do you think is the more expensive one? And he picked this one without even knowing, because these swatches are actually prettier than the expensive one. Now, before I put on my eyeshadow, I always like to put on an eyeshadow primer. And these are from Sephora. And I actually do highly recommend you grab one of these if you're looking for an amazing eyeshadow primer. As an actual eyeshadow by themselves, I don't love them because they stay tacky like what an eyeshadow primer does to help grip on your powder eyeshadow. Now, if you love them the way they look, because they are very creamy, they're very smoothing, you just need to put a powder over them or it's just gonna be tacky all day long. And if you wear eyeliner and you open your eyes and you're gonna have the eyeliner stuck on them, they're annoying. I despised these when I first got them, but now that I use this super light creamy one as my eyeshadow primer, love these. So yes, if you're looking for an eyeshadow primer and say you've already tried the Milani, the Wet n Wild, those are all great, but let me show you why I love this one. I have sunscreen on my eyelids, so we'll wipe some of that. Do you see the color of this? It's almost as if I'm putting on a concealer. So, you know, if you're younger, you might not have discoloration on your eyelids, but if you have any purpley, pink, blues, whatever, you know, your eyes just look deep and dark and tired, this is a perfect primer to use before your eyeshadows because number one, it's gonna help your eyeshadows to stick, but number two, look at how this pretty much just concealed any discoloration on my eyelid. And it's just so easy to apply with your finger. But if you think you want these Makeup by Mario ones just for your daily eyeshadow, then I do want to de-influence you from buying these, and I'm gonna tell you why. So I thought I was gonna de-influence you on buying these super viral Armani eyeshadows. They're lovely, they're beautiful. I have probably almost every single shade, and I have this little pretty shimmer one in this like small deluxe travel size, but these are expensive. And so I thought, well, I will de-influence you, don't waste your money on these, and then since these are more affordable to get these. But then I was looking at the ounces, the milliliters that are in here. You guys, this is half the size of this. These are double the size. This is like 2 times of this. So I have to look at the price again, but this ends up actually being more affordable, and these are stunning on. So that's something that we have to pay attention to when we're buying skincare, makeup, whatever. Just because something, the price of it is cheaper, and you know, you think based on the size of it, you're like, oh my gosh, it's, you know, it looks like a big size. For example, my Dermatology sunscreen, the amount that's in here, this is 50 milliliters. Let's see if I have something else right here. This right here is also 50 milliliters. So you might say, oh, I'm gonna get tons more in this. You're not, you're getting the exact same amount. But if neither one of these are in your budget, I gotcha. I was in Walmart and I saw these super inexpensive hard candy cream eyeshadows, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these look the same packaging. They look so identical to these Makeup by Mario. Now it's a different shade. This was the light one, but if you just want a super inexpensive one to use as your eyeshadow primer, it's a little, I'd say a little bit darker, of course, than the creamy one that I put on, but look at how beautiful this blends out. Very pretty, not patchy at all. I forget what these were, $3, $4, $5. So do you need to go buy the expensive makeup? You know, sometimes having luxury packaging and just that experience, if it's in our budget, sometimes that is lovely and it feels rewarding and it's fun and therapeutic and all that good stuff. But if you just want affordable but good quality makeup, these are just some of my best picks to help you save money so that you don't feel like you're missing out and, you know, not shopping the Sephora sale. Shop all of these affordable products, and now you've got a ton of makeup for tons less than, you know, one little item at Sephora. So I'm just gonna quickly apply this really pretty Morphe eyeshadow palette and just do, I don't know, like a quick 1 minute look what I would do on a daily basis. Even if you're not a makeup artist, you can be like me and still enjoy playing with makeup. Now, I'm gonna put on my concealer, and before I do that, I always like to add this super hydrating primer underneath my eyes, and there's no need to buy something expensive at Sephora because I love this one from Neutrogena. You could use it all over your face, but I love this one just for my under eye area. See how it just looked like I put on water, but it's got kind of like an oily texture at first, and then it just soaks in the under eye area. So if you are dealing with crepiness, dryness, and you know, you see I have these like eye bags and all that good stuff that we get as we age, no worries, because I get it. When you want to put your concealer over top, you just put a little bit of this on, like literally 1 drop, and I just drop it on my hand and then press it in. Let it soak in for like a minute and then do my concealer. Now, the reason I've got you zoomed in so close is because I want to show you Are there affordable concealers on the market? 100% there are. My two all-time favorite concealers, they actually are sold at Sephora. So I thought, you know what, let me just at least be honest with you and show you what I truly do use on a daily basis. Again, I have tried many affordable ones over the years, and there are many that I do really enjoy, but at 53 years old, out of all of the concealers I've ever used in my life, these are the two that I keep going back to. This one from Hourglass and this one from Kosas. So these are in the sale right now. So you don't have to go and invest in the full size, pricey Hourglass concealer. They do have it in this small one. And to be quite honest, I don't buy this big one anymore. I always buy these little small ones. And when I say always, it's not that often. This lasts me like 6 months, like a long time, because the beauty of this concealer is if you go in and like swipe it on, you're gonna hate the way it looks. The beauty of this concealer, you put, let me find a spot that doesn't have eyeshadow, you put a little bit of it on the back of your hand. That's it, that's all you need. And then you dip your brush in it and then apply it, and it's beautiful. And then the other thing I like to do, I'll spray a little bit of my makeup setting spray over top of it. And then this way, once I dip my brush in it and apply it to my under eye area, it's gonna help kind of set it. This way I don't have to add powder, and because you know, putting powder under your eyes, I know a lot of people are like, oh, this is the best powder under your eyes. There's not a single powder I've ever used at 53 years old that I think looks nice under the eyes. Now, it'll look nice from really, really far away, but when you truly zoom in and look at your under eyes after, say, 30 minutes, to me, they look hideous. So I'm not sold on putting powder, and definitely not like baking the under eye area. So, you know, if you still can see my bags and all of that, it's like, whatever, I don't care. I still want my skin to look like skin, but I want, you know, that coverage. And I always do this on the end. I try not to pull too much, even though I just did, but I gently will do this just to kind of make the eyeshadow look a little more precise and give it that little wing without me having to do a wing. So that's why I just kind of slap it on sloppy. But do you see a difference? And how beautiful this concealer is? And look, I still have a ton left on my hand. So you don't need to buy the big one if you want to try it. And again, you have to put it on the right way. You can't do like what the younger girls do and do this, because it's just gonna look, it's just too much underneath that delicate eye area, you know, because we have wrinkles and crinkles. So I let it kind of sit, do its thing. The nice thing is I don't have to use powder with this because this is self-setting. So after a few minutes, I'll just kind of take my pinky and just kind of go like this and press and make sure it's set into those little fine lines and wrinkles. If you want something that's super hydrating and moisturizing, the Kosas one is fabulous. And again, this is probably my #1 concealer that I use on the daily, but when I want a lot of coverage, that's when I reach for my Hourglass. This one still has a lot of coverage, but it's just so hydrating and dewy looking. It's like a serum. It's like a tinted serum for the under eyes that gives a great, great coverage. And again, this comes in a smaller size as well. So I'm not saying you have to go and invest money on either of these, but if you do, and you're on a budget and you wanna try something that's, you know, viral, popular, and a little bit more, to me, the quality is just fabulous, get the small ones, use the discount, and let me know. I'm just gonna zoom out so, you know, my nose hairs and stuff aren't showing. Now you might say, well, what setting spray did you use? I used this one from ColourPop. I think it's like $8. This is probably the best makeup setting spray I've ever used. And I've been using the super expensive Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, which is in the Sephora sale. I've used this one now for years. I bought it in the huge size, the little travel size, and I've tried other ones, you know, from e.l.f., NYX, other ones from the drugstore, and I just wasn't blown away by any of them until I tried this one from ColourPop. I won't buy this again. In fact, I don't even think you should restock this or buy this in the Sephora sale. You've got to try this one. It is so affordable. Look how big this bottle is. And not only is this setting spray super hydrating, but the way it locks in my makeup all day long, it's fabulous. So if you're wanting an affordable setting spray and you don't want to break the bank, this is so, so nice. Now this leaves my skin, it won't leave it like shiny or greasy looking, but it won't make it matte either. It'll kind of lock everything in and just give me, you know, my normal natural glow. But this also has a lot of good skincare ingredients in it as well. It's just such an affordable product, and seriously, the quality of this, So much better than any other high-end makeup setting spray. Now, if you are an oily skin girl and you're like, I don't want any makeup spray that's gonna make my skin have a natural glow or look, you know, in the slightest bit have a sheen, and you don't wanna wear powder, but you want something that's gonna make your pores look small and completely mattify your face, there's nothing else like this on the market. This is by Danessa Myricks. This is the Yummy Skin Liquid Blurring Balm, but it's a spray. Now you shake it up. I don't wanna shake it because it'll be very loud in the camera, but you shake it up first. There's like this metal bead in the bottom that you wanna shake it all up. And look at how fine. Do you see? It's like an angel whispering on your face. It's such a fine, beautiful mist. Now, once you first spray it, it'll have like this sheen, but let it dry down, or, you know, if you're impatient, take your fan and just dry your face. And your skin is gonna go from having a glow to not putting any powder on, but just spraying a few sprays of this. And this not only sets your makeup like a normal setting spray, but this makes your pores look small and it makes your skin look mattified. It's a beautiful product, and there's nothing else like this on the market that I've tried. Now, there are some matte setting sprays, but they're not the same. Those to me feel very drying. This is not drying at all. That's what's so beautiful about it. So if you do try it, do what I did. Get this small one, because I didn't know if I was gonna like it, but I do really like it. Now, I don't want my face to look matte every day. It's just on those days where maybe I use too much like super glowy skincare or sunscreen, and I don't wanna put powder on, but I wanna kind of just blur everything. That's what this kind of, it looks like you put a filter on your skin afterwards. Now, if you are a super dry skin girl, I don't think you're gonna like this. Like I said, it doesn't dry your skin out, but you know, if you're already dry, why do you want your face to look kind of matte? But this is a phenomenal product, and I think that this is definitely worth it. But again, get this small one, because what if you don't like it? And then you don't want to hassle with trying to return it. It does come in a much larger size as well. So that is something that I do think is really unique, innovative, and new to the market. And there really isn't a good dupe or affordable alternative to something like that. All right, before I do mascara and the rest of my makeup, I wanted to show you, I just did a video on these brand new Merit, their shimmer shadows. You guys, these are so, so pretty. I did a look on my eyes the other day. Let's find a spot. You probably can't see that, but I did a look on my eyes. If you want to see what these look like up close, and you will not believe how the crepiness and the dryness in my 53-year-old eyelids, how this almost transformed my eyelids instantly and just made them look super smooth. And I was really blown away at just how stunning these new shimmer ones are. And these are actually the two shades that I used the other day. Really quick, like 2-minute eyeshadow look. I just put this bronzy shade all over, and then on the eyelid I put this really pretty peachy shimmer shade. These are like mature shimmers. They're not like how little kids wear like glittery. They're not any of that. You won't feel like everybody's like, dang, she looks like a disco ball. You won't feel like that. These are just beautiful and lovely, and these are perfect if you're kind of like a minimal makeup person and you just want that quick one and done eyeshadow look. These are fabulous. But you could get them on sale in the Sephora sale. But you guys, I don't even know if I've ever shared these before. Versed, which I guess it's the same owner. I could be wrong. I'll write down below. I think the person who owns Merit Beauty also owns Versed. You guys, they have cream eyeshadows that are shimmers. And I don't know if it's because it's like, I don't know, the same owner or something like that. But these are affordable. These are stunning. And here's the other thing. Now, I know I was raving about them the other day, and they are absolutely stunning, the Merit shadows, but a lot of you were saying you love them at first, but then after a few months, you were saying even though you put your lids on tight, a lot of you said you hate that these dry out so fast, and so you're not getting your money's worth because you only get like 2 or 3 months use out of these. And I get it, that would be pretty annoying. So their cream ones, these don't dry out. These are phenomenal. I wish they would come out with some matte ones, but oh my gosh, look at these. Do you see this? The color payout on these. I've had these for a little while though, but look at how pretty that is. These are so creamy, and they are, you know, nice and wet, not dried out at first when you first put these on. And then once these dry down, they will look just like this on the eyes. If you like a lot of Merit products, look at a lot of the Versed products first, and try to save a lot more money that way. Before I do the rest of my makeup, let me share with you some other concealers that I think are 100% worth it in the Sephora sale. Clearly I love them and I'm gonna restock. These are by the brand CL. These are their SPF 50 sunscreens, but they're concealers, full coverage concealers. Now, I do not wear these under my eyes because they're just too full coverage. But if I have a pimple or say my melasma, this shade is not the right shade for me. But I do wear shade 08P, and it's like a medium kind of with the peach. And then I also like 09N, and I can't see what this shade is, but this one's just a little too yellow for me. So I'm not restocking these two. I'm gonna restock the 08P and the 09N. But let me just show you. I can still get away with these because I don't wanna waste these that are not my shade. But these are an all mineral SPF 50. Sometimes I just do my regular tinted sunscreen and then I just use this, you know, in the areas where I need some coverage, blend it around, and I'm good to go for the day. And I don't even use a separate foundation. But if you have hyperpigmentation, let me find the shade that I like. Here it is, 08P. Yeah, if you have, this one's almost empty. If you have hyperpigmentation, melasma, or a pimple, do you see the full coverage of this? Every day after I do my makeup, since I like a very sheer layer of my foundation, I always add this over the areas that just need that little extra coverage for my melasma. So this way, instead of me looking like a total cake face and piling on layer after layer after layer of foundation, I just put the foundation all over lightly, and then I just layer a little bit of this full coverage concealer that's an SPF 50 over top of my areas of concern. And you'll be amazed at how quickly, number one, your pimples will heal, the darkness, those dark spots will heal, and also how your melasma won't get darker, because when you layer more and more and more sunscreen, but in makeup form, it's amazing how this transforms my melasma or hyperpigmentation. Or, you know, a lot of people, the sun's hitting their face right here. If you're outside a lot, you know, this is a perfect product to put on those areas because it's a high sunscreen, full coverage concealer. There's nothing else like this on the market. Otherwise, I would share with you a dupe or something, you know, more inexpensive, but these are phenomenal. Let me just clean off a little bit of this makeup that's kind of hanging out in my brows. I usually get a Q-tip, but I'm too lazy to get up. And if you don't clean off your brows first, if you're ever wondering like, why aren't my brow products, why aren't they staying put? It might be because you've got, you know, your skincare, foundation, and all kinds of stuff just kind of hanging out in your brows. So like I said, I normally do a Q-tip, so I'm not messing up the rest of my makeup, but that'll work. And I just use a little affordable micellar water. I get the teeny one because this will last me forever. There are a ton of affordable brow pencils on the market and brow products on the market. And even though there are some affordable ones that I do really like, I will say this one from Kosas, this is my holy grail, so I am gonna restock. I use the shade Black Brown. I love it so much because for me, my brows, sometimes they do get a little oily, and this, it doesn't matter if I'm in like a heat wave or an oven, my brows stay put with this. And also, do you see how tiny this is? It's not that expensive, but especially since I can get the 20% off, then it really makes it worth it for me. But as far as brow gels, this one, the clear one from Maybelline, this is their Super Lock. This is like having your brows laminated. This, I would probably say, is my #1 favorite on days that I'm just like in a quick hurry, but you want your brows to look like they're laminated. This looks so pretty on, and it's super easy to use. Now this one is the one that I really love. This is by NYX, but this one's high maintenance and it's not that easy. When I first got it, I hated it because I'm like, oh my gosh, it dried so fast and my brows dried in this weird, like all over the place. You have to work quickly with this. So even though I love it, and this is probably my all-time favorites right now, I'm not gonna recommend this one as the one that I think that you should rush out and get, because it's challenging to work with at first, in my opinion. But this one, I've bought this like 3 or 4 times. I also have their tinted one, and I do really enjoy it, but I like the clear the best because I always like to put my Kosas brow product on. All right, for mascara, right now my Dibs, this is my favorite mascara that I've been using. It's not super cheap, but it's not super expensive. And this small size is perfect if you want to kind of test it out first. And there's just nothing else like this on the market yet. You definitely need some blush. In this Sephora sale, I get it. There are some gorgeous blushes that I know a lot of people hype up. And I mean, look at this packaging. Is this absolutely gorgeous packaging? Love it. I love these blushes. But do we need to buy them? I don't think you need them, but if you are, you know, if you're wanting to buy a blush and it's in your budget, I actually might buy a couple of their newer shades. But this is one, I'll put this one on today. This is just such a beautiful, beautiful color. But if you kind of want that one and done blush that's like a highlighter and a blush all in one, I mean, you can't go wrong with this. Look how pretty. Ooh, that is just stunning. The other thing I love about this is you saw how I powdered down my face with the Wet n Wild powder. And I like my face to have a little bit more of a glow. This instantly kind of brings that glow back. I'm not trying to encourage you to go buy them, but if it is in your budget, I think that you will love these. Out of all the other ones, out of the Armani, none of the other high-end blushes, I think these are the best high-end, just regular powder blushes. Another one that is beautiful, but I still think the YSL ones are better, but these ones from Closest, if I could open them. I hate this packaging because I can never open these. These blushes, these aren't too expensive. And no, that's a light swatch. Let me give you a different one. This is my favorite shade right here. This one, these are really pretty. But if you want to get a nice blush in a Sephora sale and you don't want to spend this kind of money, because these to me are just stupid expensive. These Kosas ones, they're absolutely gorgeous. And they do still give you, actually I'll put one on, I'll put this one on. They do still give you sort of that similar kind of blush and highlight look. These are a little bit more mattifying. Also, the other thing about these Kosas ones that you might like, they kind of give that more blurring appearance on your pores. So if you are dealing with large pores, you might actually like the Kosas ones better. I think they're like half the price of these YSL ones. This blush right here, as you can tell, this looks like it's, you know, been through a little bit of a war. It's all mangled up. This one is from L'Oreal. This is their Infallible. This is, what is this, Confident Pink? I can't read it, but I think this is Confident Pink. This has been one of my favorite blushes. I think this is my third one that I bought because I love it that much. But I must warn you, not only is it affordable, but this is high pigment. So you cannot just take your brush and go right in. You have to dip your brush in it, then do this with your brush, work it up in the bristles, and then apply it. Otherwise, you're gonna look crazy. But look at this shade. I love that for like spring and summer. If you just are like me and you love sunscreen makeup, and you're like, I want a blush, but I don't want anything to disturb my sunscreen underneath, CL also has powder blushes. I have every single shade of these. I bought all of them, but these are the three that I love the most. These are beautiful. You guys, these are sunscreen. What are these? SPF 45 sunscreen blushes. We'll put a little of this one just over top. These give like a blurred, I mean, instantly it's blurring, I mean, just like the Kosas ones, but the Kosas is just a blush. This is not just a blush, this is a blush and a sunscreen. Now, you cannot skip your daily sunscreen and think that this is gonna give you enough coverage, because quite frankly, it won't. I mean, as you can see, I'm just putting a little bit on. But this is great for touch-ups throughout the day. If you're like me and you like to reapply your sunscreen throughout the day, and then you wanna just quickly touch up your makeup, but you want sunscreen makeup, there's nothing else like these on the market. Again, I have every other shade. If you wanna see that video and I swatch every shade and show you in detail what every shade looks like, if you're into more warmer shades, you'll probably love the other ones, but these are the three that I go to every day. This one is called Blaze. It's perfect for the fall. Now, of course, it doesn't look this dark on the skin, but oh, look at that. That is stunning. Now for cream blushes, I know a ton of people rave about these Armani, are these Armani? Yeah, these Armani cream blushes, even the Rare Beauty. I mean, these were like so viral for so long. Are these beautiful? Yes, these are stunning cream blushes, but do I think that you need to pick them up in the Sephora sale? Absolutely not, and I'm gonna show you why. If you want a cream blush that is just the best cream blush in the world, in my opinion, I'm gonna show you one that I would recommend instead. Any of these cream blushes from the brand CL, these are an SPF 50 cream blush. You guys, when I tell you that these are, to me, like life-changing makeup products, I'm just gonna put one of these over top. Now, if you already love this brand, I have every single shade, except for one of them that's like an orangey shade. But this is their new shade called Sugar. It's like this really pretty plummy purple shade. I use this on my lips because out of all of their cream blushes, the rest of them, they're not a stain. Oh wait, this is January. Hang on, I wanna show you. Here it is, Bahati. This is my favorite shade. This one's a stain. The rest of them aren't a stain, but these are the most beautiful cream blushes, but they have sunscreen. And the reason I love these is, of course, they're sunscreen, but if you didn't know there was sunscreen in these, you could put these next to the super expensive cream blushes that are on the market, and every single time I would choose these. The reason I love these, look at this, look how much of this I'm able to apply. This is my favorite shade called Bahati. You can put so much of this on, so if you do have melasma, hyperpigmentation, I mean, look at that, that's way too much, but do you see how you can really add a lot on? If you love their blushes, I say pick this up in the sale. Look at this shade. Isn't that so pretty? Oh my gosh, I love this. So what I do is I just honestly put this on my lips, blot it, and then that's my lipstick, my lip stain for the day. And I have my SPF 50. If you are like, none of that's in my budget, I totally get it. And if you already use your own sunscreen underneath, you don't have to use sunscreen makeup. It just really is the icing on the cake. But if you want an affordable cream blush, this is, I did not like this. It's so weird. I did not like this when I first got it, but now I love this. Now, I typically would only wear this in the evening because during the day, I do like to use all of my sunscreen makeup, but you guys, I mean, I probably shouldn't put this on over top of this. This is the shade that I love. This is their L'Oreal Lumi. This is their Lumi Cream Blushes. Let me show you what this looks like. I really like this for spring and summer. Look at this shade. Once it dries down, it stays put. It's kind of like this infallible blush from L'Oreal that once it's on, it pretty much stays put all day. And so this is a great affordable option. Of course, there's no sunscreen in it, but if you want a cream blush, why buy these expensive Armani ones? Yes, they're pretty, but no one is gonna stop you and say, oh my gosh, are you wearing a drugstore blush and not an expensive Armani blush? Like, it's just not gonna happen. There are some gorgeous highlighters at Sephora right now, but do we need to go waste a lot of money on those? No, I don't think we do. Did I? Because I like to test them to see if they're worth it. Yes. These are highlighters from Gucci. I have a couple shades. I have this one. This is the one I like the best. And then I have the one that's like a really pretty lavender shade, which is stunning, but it's like doesn't look natural. So I would only use it at night. But these are, look at these, when you press down in them, they leave like this little indentation. But these are so creamy, so buttery. Oh my gosh, these are just absolutely gorgeous highlighters. And these are very mature skin friendly highlighters. They don't get stuck in your little wrinkles and crinkles, creases and crevices. I mean, it literally looks like glass on my skin. Let me just help you to save a little bit of money. This is probably my 5th one that I bought. This is from Essence. Out of every drugstore highlighter, this is probably the cheapest, most inexpensive, but it is the prettiest. Look at this. You hardly see any like dust kicking up, just a little bit. This is a really nice baked formula. This is the most mature friendly drugstore highlighter. We'll just use this on my nose. Drugstore highlighter. You would not know like which side's Gucci, which side's the super affordable. Do I think these Gucci highlighters are fantastic and it's fun, and if it's in your budget, sure, go for it. But do you need it? No way. Just get this really affordable Essence highlighter. Also, CL also has sunscreen highlighters. I always wear this shade Piper, and by the way, this new shade Sugar, it comes in a kit with a smaller one of the Piper, the limited edition. But this one, sometimes when I put highlighter like on my nose, it like rubs off my foundation. This shade is perfect for me. I'll just actually swipe a lot of it on so you can see. This is kind of just like, it's almost the same shade as my foundation. You know, it's perfect if you have darker skin than me and you want to use it as your regular highlighter. But this is what I like to use on my nose to still give me that highlighter and not to necessarily, I mean, I put a lot on, but not to necessarily take off my foundation. Because other times I swipe on my highlighter and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, it's like a sheen and there's no foundation around. But if, you know, if you have that melasma or hyperpigmentation up here, use a sunscreen highlighter and you're good to go. There's just nothing else like this on the market. So these to me are absolutely worth it. Any of the CL products. All right, everybody's hyping up these Huda Beauty lip liner stains. I've already shared these many times of how much I don't like them. I like that they stay on long, but I despise how big this is. I mean, this is like a lipstick, not a lip liner, and it just makes such a thick line. And then the other thing is they dry out so fast. The colors are beautiful, but why spend this kind of money when NYX came out with their version of lip liner stain pens? And let me just show you. This one's the Huda, this is the NYX. Look at the difference. Would you rather make a big lip line with this one or with this one? And these don't dry out the way the Huda ones do. These are really, really pretty on. And so I'm only saving these Huda ones because of course I share what to buy instead. Just even the quality, even if the Huda ones were less expensive, I would still say these are much better quality from NYX and they're much more affordable. And then my other favorite is from Wet n Wild. These came out a while ago, but they're just constantly sold out. Look at how thin that is to draw a lip line. But if you want to put it all over your lips, there you go. Now, if you're like, you know, but I don't like to use the lip liner stain, it's a little too complicated. If I mess up, then you've got that stained on your lips and you just want a regular lip liner. These are two that are very popular in Sephora. They're lovely. I do really love them. This is the Pat McGrath lip liner. Stays on like for so long. Now I will say for me, since I like to wear lip glosses and I have a little more mature lips, I have this little wrinkle here. And sometimes the lipstick tries to bleed in there. I do like the lip liner stains for my lips, especially on the upper lip so that lip gloss doesn't bleed in. But these are fabulous as far as stay on regular lip liners. These are really, really good quality. Like these go on super creamy, but this will stay put on my hand. I can even wash my hands after this sets and it's very difficult to get this off. That's how high quality the Natasha Denona and the Pat McGrath lip liners are. But might I de-influence you and share with you the Maybelline, their lifter liners. These came out, what, like a year or two ago. The only thing I don't like, I purposely grabbed this one to show you, is this happens to mine a lot, but you know, whatever. I just shove it right back down in there. And these are pretty much the same quality. They're very creamy when they go on. Let's get this to focus. They're so creamy when they go on, but this is gonna stay put on my lips also. Now, again, if you put gloss over them, they can kind of break up a little bit. When I put gloss over these NYX stains, doesn't break up. Stains my lips for hours and hours and hours, almost all day long. Y'all, everybody, this has been sold out. This is the Pat McGrath. This is apparently what was used on all the Victoria's Secret Angels for their recent big show. This is called Earth Angel. And I mean, there's no denying this is a stunning lip gloss. There. I mean, look at that. That is a gorgeous lip gloss. I want to zoom in more because I want to show you something. So I wear this over top of a lipstick or whatever, and when you first put it on, you're like, wow, look at my lips. Is that gorgeous? So gorgeous. But then once it, you know, you wear it for like an hour, and then, you know, it smudges around a little bit. I applied some more to my hands so you can see it better. Once you wear this, you know, even for like a half an hour, it gets really, let me show you, look at this, really sticky. It's like super duper sticky. And then the gloss part fades away, but I don't know if you can tell these little glitter particles, they get all over your mouth and around your lip border. Oh my goodness. It ends up looking hideous. So yeah, maybe on those 20-year-old Victoria's Secret models who don't have any wrinkles on their lips, and for that 1 hour show, it looks amazing. But for me, like, I'm obsessed with it when I first put it on. But then, like I said, after 30 minutes, it's like my lips are so stuck together, and you'll see the glitter like around here and here. It just looks horrible. And then if I try to, you know, I'm like, oh, let me wipe it off and I'll put something else on. If you wipe it down here, now you got glitter stuck all over the side of your face. So may I de-influence you to tell you do not waste your money on this. It's beautiful. Now, if you're younger, then you're gonna love it, go for it. But seriously, do we need to spend that kind of money on a lip gloss? Let me show you some super inexpensive ones that if you like that sheen and a more mature, friendly type of sheen shimmer, these from NYX and then these from e.l.f. I'm gonna put these on over top of my lipstick to show you, like, wow, people see that and they say, oh my gosh, a Victoria's Secret angel wears it, and we somehow think that what we put on our lips, we're gonna be transformed and look like these amazing 20-year-olds. Like, I mean, it's crazy how marketing is and how fast things will sell out when they see it, you know, on a Hollywood star or Victoria's Secret models. And then this other one, this one's almost empty. This is from REM Beauty. Is this Ariana Grande's brand? Look at how pretty this is. And I think this was a limited edition shade. This one's called Fembot. The formula is so wearable, it's so comfortable, it's not thick and sticky and gross, and this is more affordable also. So let's put this one on from e.l.f. This one's called Crystal Baller, and this one's really, really pretty. These are so wearable, no stickiness at all. Now, the other one that I love, these are from NYX. These are so pretty. I even put one of these in the upcoming giveaway. I'll just put this on over top. Let me just show you how pretty. I'll swatch it. I'll find a spot on my hand to swatch it so you can see what this looks like. It's just a really pretty sheen, but it's got, look at that. Ooh, that's so pretty. It's got like the kind of raspberry color. Let's get it to focus. It's got the raspberry little shimmer in it. These butter glosses, I've worn these for, golly, 10, 15 years whenever they came out. These are so affordable, but the quality is fabulous. No stickiness whatsoever. Even though I'm technically trying to de-influence you so that you will save some money and not go crazy shopping in the Sephora sale, I'm gonna show you 3 other products that I 100% think are worth it and that I am also going to restock. This is one of my all-time favorite hair products. This is from K18. I know a lot of people hate it, and I actually hated it when I first used it because I was using it wrong. But this has completely transformed my hair. My hair grows so long, it's ridiculous. I'm about to go get it cut. I think I want to get like 5 or 6 inches cut off of it and do a bunch more layers. But you guys, this keeps my hair so healthy. There is a right and a wrong way to use it, but really quickly, I do not put oil or conditioner as a pre-shampoo treatment in my hair on the days that I use K18. I just wash my hair with like a clarifying shampoo. Then I kind of towel dry my hair really quickly. And then I only put like 3 or 4 pumps of this, not 10 pumps. This is not a conditioner. And I think that's where people are going wrong. And that's what I used to do. I was like, man, I need more and more and more. You just have to trust the process. Do little sections and do like 1 pump at a time. Then do, you know, I just split my hair in like 3 sections. And 3 to 4 pumps, little teeny pumps. That's all you need. I leave it in as a treatment for my hair for like 4 to 10 minutes. Then I can rinse it out if I want. Dropping everything. Then I can rinse it out if I want, but I don't because there's no need to because the activation that's already taken place. And then I put whatever conditioner on over top. Then I'll leave my conditioner on for a few minutes, rinse that out, and then I go and style as usual. If you do not put a conditioner on over top of K18, you're gonna hate this. And if you use tons of pumps of it, you're also gonna hate this. When I first started using it, I used it like every time I washed my hair for, I don't know, a couple weeks. And now I just use it like once every couple weeks to maintain my healthy results. It's probably the #1 product that has completely transformed and made my hair healthy. I don't even get split ends anymore. That's how amazing it is. But it's really expensive, and so I only buy it on sale. So if that's something that you love, I do think it's completely worth it. The other thing is the sunscreen that I shared with you. I think I dropped it. Oh, here it is. This is the big size of it, but this one lasts a long time. This is from the brand Isden. This is their tinted sunscreen. Love this sunscreen. It doesn't leave my face like looking glowy or shiny. It's this beautiful tint. I'm just putting it on over top of my makeup, but it's so sheer. Some days I just put this on and I don't put anything else on over top. Now, of course, it's blending with all that makeup, but once this dries down, it dries down to just like a really pretty kind of natural finish. Now, I never, you know, press it with a sponge. I let this set and do its thing and create that kind of protective layer on my skin. But once it dries down, it just gives this really pretty kind of just natural sheen on the skin. But the tint that's in it really helps if you have melasma, the iron oxides. And it's a fantastic sunscreen. To me, I think this is so worth it, but I only buy this on sale as well. And then one other thing that I'm gonna repurchase is my favorite hair oil. Now I have a ton of different hair oils that I use, but this one out of all of my hair oils, this is the Olaplex. This one's just a little, like a deluxe travel size, but it comes in a little bit bigger size. And this lasts me forever. I only have to use a few little drops of this, and it never weighs my hair down, never makes my hair look greasy. And wow, what a difference this makes, giving my hair that beautiful glow. And it also is, you know, a good hair treatment type oil also. Really quickly, one new thing that I think that they're gonna be like hyping up in the sale that they're saying is worth it, that I don't think is worth it. This is from Paula's Choice. This is their Pro Collagen Peptide Gloss Balm, and they sent this to me. They sent me their original one, and I have a couple of them. I just don't care for it. It's got like little, I don't know, it feels like it's like grainy or something, but I gotta squeeze this so hard to get any of it out. But this is their new like berry shade. And the shade, you know, it's really pretty. If you like lip balms or whatever, the shade it's a really pretty shade, and I like how glossy it is. But I don't know, it doesn't really do much for my lips, and I don't like the way, like when I go like this, I can feel like little grainy things in it, and I don't know, it's like it wasn't mixed up properly or something. But you know, so I keep seeing this on their just dropped front page of their website, and honestly, I don't think this is worth it at all. All right, so I'm just gonna put on a little bit of bronzer, a little bit of setting spray, and call it a day. But hopefully I was able to help either sort of influence you, but hopefully more so de-influence you in spending a ton of money on things that I think are much more affordable and budget friendly. And hopefully this video kind of helped to meet everyone's budget. Let me know if this helped, and let me know if you do plan on shopping in the Sephora sale. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.